Hello everyone, Lisa Keeler here, of course, doing another video as part of my campaign for Whatcom County Superior Court Judge. I am filming today after a really long week and very long weekend for cities around our country. I've been watching protests, some of which have turned violent, and some rioting in cities around our country. And some of you know this, but not all of you do. I grew up in Southern California, and I lived in the Los Angeles area in 1992 during those riots. And I vividly remember them. I remember the violence that led to community outrage. I remember the legal decisions that came out later that led to further outrage about what was going on in our communities. I remember peaceful protests. I remember the angry and the desperate and opportunists turning things to violence, looting, fires. I remember being very afraid for family and for friends. I remember smoke in our neighborhood and it lasting for a very long time. And I also remember lessons learned later that came out of that, and going to the Tolerance Museum and learning about prejudice and learning about what we now call implicit bias and learning about hate, and how all of us have to work actively to overcome all of these things, both in our own lives, in our communities, and for the betterment of our whole country. And so I've been thinking a lot about all of those things with what's been going on lately, and wanting to challenge myself and hopefully challenge all of you to ask, what does democracy mean to you? What does rule of law mean to you? What does our legal system mean to you? And I think we all need to ask ourselves, what can I do to make our democracy better? What can I do to make our legal system better? And there are things we can do. We can educate ourselves about history and community and civics, and we can engage in discourse, in peaceful protest. We can vote in every election we are able. We can run for office like I'm doing. We can, more importantly than anything else, treat everyone we encounter with dignity and respect. And that's not always easy, but that's something we can all do. And when I was thinking about that, it made me think of a story. I have an aunt and uncle who are very proud that I went to law school and became a lawyer. And so many years ago, after I had done that, they wanted to take me to lunch. And so we took the train from the Pasadena station into downtown LA, and we were going to a sandwich shop that's been there forever. And we were on the train, and there's this gentleman who sat across from us, and he was staring at my uncle. And my uncle is a retired police officer and was at that time. And this guy was staring so hard that it got all of our attention. And finally, the gentleman said, "Hey, I remember you." And my uncle responded saying, "Yeah, I remember you too." And the man went on to say, "You're the cop that put me away the longest." It was like 10 or 15 years of prison time. And my uncle again responded with, "Yeah, I remember what that was for." And then the gentleman said, "I'll never forget you. You were the nicest to me." And he went on to describe how my uncle was basically the most polite, respectful cop that he had ever encountered. And he would never forget my uncle because of that. And I think that is the important lesson, that we all have jobs, and it's really hard to live and be out in the world. And it takes effort to treat others with dignity and respect. And we can do that. And I'm going to challenge myself to do that in my job, as I run for office, in whatever I do, but most especially as I engage in civic discourse and civic engagement. And so I hope all of you take some time to think about all of these things that are going on and think about what you can do every day to work to improve our democracy. And if you get a chance, please follow me here on Facebook at Elect Lisa Keeler. You can check out my website if you'd like to at lisakeeler.com. And again, my name is Lisa Keeler. I'm running for Whatcom County Superior Court Judge. I hope everyone has a good week coming up, and I hope we all take time to think about how we can do better and how we can improve our legal system, how we can improve our democracy, and most of all, how we can treat each other with dignity and respect. Thank you.